Welcome everyone. Today we're going to present our Sergeant Times training, Chapter 31, VR&E, also known as VOC Rehab. The Department of Veteran Affairs used to call it Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment Services. However, they changed it to Veteran Readiness and Employment Service. But the abbreviation is still the same. It's still considered VR&E. All right, guys? So, when you're referring to Chapter 31, and someone tells you Veteran Readiness and Employment, that's the correct term. What is Veteran Readiness and Employment in Chapter 31? Well, if you have a service-connected disability that limits your ability to work or prevents you from working, VR&E can help. Okay? It can help you explore employment options and address education or training needs. Third, it provides you with professional or vocational counseling and training. It's also available for eligible active duty, reserve, National Guard, and veteran personnel. So you don't have to be out of the military to qualify for VR&E. Who is eligible? First, you didn't receive a dishonorable discharge. Second, you have a service-connected disability rating of at least 10% from the VA. That only pertains to the students and military members who have gotten out without a dishonorable discharge. Third, if you were discharged from active duty before January 1st, 2013, your basic period of eligibility ends 12 years from one of these dates. And I'm gonna tell you the dates. The dates you got released from active duty. So let's say if you got released in 2013, then you have till 2025 to utilize your benefits, okay? Or whenever you got your disability rating. Now, if you were just discharged from active duty after January 1st, 2013, it does not apply to you. You do not have to worry about it. So this is strictly for people still on active duty, and it's super important because you can still qualify for VR&E if you have a 20% or higher pre-discharge disability rating, and you're going to soon leave the military. Second, you're waiting to be discharged because of a severe illness or injury that occurred while you were serving on active duty. Third, severely injured active duty service members can automatically receive VR&E benefits before the VA issues the disability rating. Okay, it's called the National Defense Authorization Act. You can look at the PowerPoint slide, you can take a picture. I will also upload this video on YouTube for you guys to check out if you want to look more into it, okay? But because we're limited on time, I can't talk too much on it. Lastly, benefits delivery at discharge, or otherwise known as BDD. If you have an illness or an injury that you believe that was caused or made worse by your active duty service, you can file a claim for disability benefits through the BDD program, 180 to 90 days before you leave active duty. This actually may help out speed up the process in order for you to leave the military and utilize your VR&E benefits. Okay, so where do I apply? Easy. You can simply type in VR&E Chapter 31 on Google. It'll take you to this wonderful page, or you can copy the link down below. It'll take you straight to the Vocational Rehabilitation Eligibility Form, okay? The form is called VA Form 28-1900. Next slide. So what happens next? VA determines your eligibility and sends you an employment letter. In this employment letter, you'll schedule your initial appointment with a vocational rehabilitation counselor, okay, or otherwise known as a VRC. You will complete a rehabilitation needs inventory and a career scope assessment. What this assessment does is basically tells you where you're at in, in your employment environment. If you're unemployed, if you're ready to be gainfully employed, or if you plan on going to school, all right? And lastly, you're gonna have to gather your necessary materials like your resume, transcripts, job certifications, even certificates that you got while you were in the military. Those are super useful, and your medical records. Next slide. Okay, so once you get connected with your counselor or VRC, you will go over a rehabilitation plan. With this plan, they will talk to you about, well, first they will talk to you about rapid reemployment. So if you're getting out of the military, they will help you job search so you can go into the workforce straight away when you're released from active duty. There's also the long-term plan. The long-term plan is when you need maybe a certificate or a college degree, and it's going to take you maybe more than 3 to 6, or depending on what career path you want to take. It could be 3 to 10 if you're going for your doctorates, but they will work with you in order to achieve your educational needs and be gainfully employed. They also help with self-employment. They give you the resources and training if you want to open up your own business, which is great, okay? Third, which I love, independent living, okay? They will help and assist you with any housing needs that you may need, okay? This is what your counselor will help you do. Fourth, develop your resume, prepare for job interviews, and obviously search for a job. Now, if you're a Rutgers student coming to our office, we're actually connected with the Career Development Center, and they also help out our veterans with resume writing and interview workshops. So if you're attending Rutgers and you're curious about this information, let us know and we'll get you connected to the proper staff that will help you with your resume and job interview skills. Okay. Internships and work study. So obviously, while you're going to school, internships will not only be available through the school, but your counselor will help you as well search for these internships. Now, we do participate in the work study program. So if you are Chapter 31 and qualify for it, you can come to our office and apply for our work study program. And then lastly, ultimately, what your VRC is going to work with you is to maintain a career and be independent. Okay, so processing your VR&E benefits to Rutgers-Newark. How do I do this? Okay, so once you apply for your benefits to the VA educational website, you're going to talk to your counselor. Your counselor is going to have an authorization number, right? That authorization number is going to be emailed to veteranaffairs@newark.rutgers.edu. That email is connected both to myself or Paul, who's the assistant director. Okay. That you're going to receive 2 authorization numbers. One, to pay for your tuition and fees, and second, to pay for your books and supplies. Okay. Once that is complete, you're going to create your profile with an updated number and email where we can reach you at in VetSer. So VetSer is an in-house Rutgers-Newark program where we collect all your documents pertaining to your educational needs and also VA forms. That way we can report it to the VA. Again, the link to that website is right here, gradadmissions.rutgers.edu/veteran-cert/ and that's it. Third, you're going to set up an appointment with your counselor here at Rutgers-Newark and enroll in your courses. After that is complete, you will request enrollment certification through VetSer. Again, the step to get into VetSer is right here in this link. Now, fourth, you must request enrollment certification every semester you plan on attending. Okay, so if it's fall semester, you will have to request enrollment certification. So I will talk about that more on the next slide. And then lastly, you're going to bring in your courses, syllabus, and bookstore authorization number to the Rutgers-Newark Barnes & Noble bookstore. That way you guys don't get charged for the books that you need for your classes. Now, some of these steps does not have to be in order, though I highly recommend you do it that way, but you can interchange the way you set up your appointment with your counselor to requesting enrollment certification. So next slide. Okay, so this is the veteran request for enrollment certification, or otherwise known as VetCert. This was the in-house program for Rutgers-Newark that I was talking on. So right here where it's green, it says my profile. You're gonna update with your current email and phone number. Sometimes I know students don't like checking their personal emails. So my profile is a good way for us to contact you if we need any documents on your behalf. And then more importantly, like I spoke before, request enrollment certifications circled in red. That you will do every semester, okay? So if you plan on attending spring 2022, you will request enrollment certification and click spring 2022, or if you're going for summer, you will click summer 2022. Oh, and most importantly, every year when you plan on attending Rutgers-Newark, they automatically enroll you in the student health insurance plan. Make sure you opt out of it, only because vocational rehab, you're already service connected through the VA concerning healthcare. So because of that, they will not pay for the healthcare as if they were to pay for Chapter 33. So you can just go to the link. Actually, they have a link right here, universityhealthplans.com, and you can deny the health service plan. Next slide. Okay, so once you request enrollment certification, this is what the page is going to look like. Okay, you're going to click on federal GI Bill only, and from that option, it'll there's going to be another drop-down menu, and you'll be able to select Chapter 31 VR&E. Okay, make sure you select that. And then here's what below where it's circled in red, you're going to select your term for 2022 or 2021 for fall. Obviously, it's too late for fall, but for students, coming in for spring, make sure you select spring 2022, or if you're coming in the fall, you select fall 2022. 2022. Next. Okay, so VR&E participants who also qualify for the post 9/11 GI Bill, otherwise known as Chapter 33. Okay, so you may be eligible to receive the subsistence allowance based on the monthly basic allowance for housing, or MHA, for an E5 with dependents. Okay, so if let's say you have 1 month or 3 months left of Chapter 33 benefits, you can get the same monthly housing allowance when you apply for Chapter 31 benefits. Okay, again, it's also based on your eligibility percentage, and it can be found on your certificate of eligibility here on the right-hand side. Okay, and the percentage is usually like right here, so circled in red. Right. You can also visit the VA /GI Bill comparison tool, okay, to find out how much you could get paid for your monthly housing allowance. And if I'm not mistaken, if you don't qualify for Chapter 33, the monthly housing allowance for vocational rehabilitation, or rather readiness, is 670, correct? Yes, 670. But if you qualify for Chapter 33 and you switch over to Chapter 31, then you'll get the monthly housing allowance that's closely to 3,000. Is that correct? Yeah, 3,000. Okay. So I highly encourage you guys to check out both websites to check out your allowance rates. Next slide. Okay, so these are additional resources and contacts. Okay. This is all related to VR&E. So, if you have any questions regarding VR&E that we probably didn't cover, or if you forget, while watching this video or during this meeting, you can simply just go visit these websites, or you can call their office at 800-827-1000, okay? If you have any other further questions that doesn't pertain to VR&E Chapter 31, and you want to know more about our office and what we do, you can find us in Conklin Hall, room 213 or room 214. Or you can call us at 973-353-5374. Can we get to the next slide? Okay, so I highly encourage everyone to follow us on Instagram. You pull out your phone, give us a follow. We post up workshops every month. So, you know, some of these workshops might pertain to your needs, and also our YouTube channel. This is something relatively new that we created for the students who cannot attend or want to re-watch the workshop that they attended, only because this is good information and I want this information for you guys to access at any time. Next slide. So at this time, I'll take any questions or concerns that you guys may have.
I do have questions. I left one of them in the chat. So for the book allowance, do you have to strictly use the school bookstore?
Yes. Just know that it's all covered in VR&E, so you don't have to worry about any additional costs or anything like that.
I do have more questions. For this program, is there a cap of how many credits you can take each semester?
There is actually no cap. You just work with your counselor, and depending on your needs, and basically when you work with your counselor, they will assess if you can take full-time or part-time credits, depending on your needs. If you're able to take full-time, then there's no cap on the courses you can take. However, Rutgers-Newark does have a cap, which is 18 credits. Past that, you will have to talk to the dean in order to take anything higher than 18 credits.
18 credits, and that's 18 credits including the graduate program, or that's just strictly undergraduate?
That's for undergraduate. Any graduate programs will have their own limits on the number of courses you can take. Also, VR&E is not going to allow you to do anything that might aggravate your service-connected disability. That's one of the bases of the program. So if overloading your schedule like that, 18 credits or however many credits it is for a grad school, if they feel that might put undue strain on yourself based on your service-connected disabilities, your VR&E counselor will most likely not allow that.
And question, do you know what is the cap for grads?
It depends on the program that you're enrolled in.
So do you know all of them for each program? Like if I ask you now, would you know?
No, you're going to have to speak to the program managers for each program. We have dozens of grad programs.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because I had actually called them on Friday and they told me that that I would have to talk to you guys or the veteran people for them to give me any specifics, because they're not sure based on my program. That's why it's just a little bit confusing.
Okay, which program did you plan on attending?
I wanted to do the graduate program on mental health counseling.
Oh, mental health counseling, okay.
Is that here at Rutgers-Newark?
Online, it just gave me the Rutgers-Newark number. I'm not sure because I haven't even applied.
So I don't think that's one of our programs. That might be Rutgers Biomedical Health Science. That might be RBHS.
Where would that be?
They're over in the Stanley Bergen building. They're still in the city of Newark, but it's a different campus than us.
Okay.
But they're the ones who set the limits on the number of credits you can take. We don't have any determination on that. If your VR&E counselor allows it, they'll allow it. But as far as the program limits, how many credits you can take, we don't determine.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. And just a question with the VR&E program, does it count? Because I know I just got my letter of, you know, that I got the benefit, and my counselor told me I have 15 months. Is that like concurrently, like the Is it like when I enroll, does that continue like, or is just each semester?
Okay,
That's
so that's, in my experience, obviously your counselor is going to have the final say. In my experience, that's a negotiable time limit. They're doing that based on the education that you need for whatever your career path is. However, if it ends up taking longer because of circumstances beyond your control, then there is an option to extend your 15 months.
Okay. Oh, okay. Extend. I didn't know that. Extend 15 months. Does that happen often, or that like is that like a rarely ever?
It happens
It
pretty
happens often.
Yeah, it happens pretty
We
often.
have students where, well, we have one student in our case where they're about to complete their bachelor's in criminal justice, but the job that they need requires a master's in public administration. So right now they're going through the process of extending that the eligibility for the months in order for her to finish her MPA program.
Okay. Yep. Because like I had told her my plan, and then she told me, kind of like, good luck trying to finish a master's degree in 15 months. So,
Were you referring to the Master's in Rehabilitation Counseling, Clinical Mental Health Counseling track?
Yes.
Okay, so that's at the School of Health Professions. That's at Rutgers Biomedical Health Sciences. That is not a Rutgers-Newark program. So we'll link up with you outside of the presentation, and we'll provide you with their school certifying official information.
There's a difference. There's schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different campus. We have 4
Okay.
campuses. Rutgers.
Yeah.
Oh,
different-
okay.
Yeah, it would be a different campus, a different office that would handle your benefits.
Okay, but it would still essentially be the same. Like I would have to log into that thing and certify
No.
and all that stuff.
RBHS doesn't use VetCert yet. We're working to integrate them into that. They're going to have a slightly different process on their end.
Oh, okay.
However, VR&E is still going to work the same.
Yeah,
Okay. VR&E would work the same. Would
Yeah.
work the same.
correct.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah, so I was thinking like I should have gotten the letter, but remember reading it was that I have like a month and more, like 12, 14 days, and that there was like a clause of it being able to be extended for like a certain amount of weeks or till the semester expired, right? So it would change to a different type of bill.
So if you're looking to switch over to VR&E, don't use the last month and change of your post 9/11. Because what that letter is referring to is that if you decide to come back for the spring semester with just a month and change, they'll pay your tuition and fees for the whole semester, but you're only going to get 1 month and change of housing allowance. And then that's it. No more housing allowance, no more book stipend, but your term bill is paid for spring. If you want to do VR&E, get that done as soon as you can, because once you give your counselor your certificate of eligibility, like Lewis was saying, when you become a VR&E student, you get your tuition bill paid for, you get your bookstore textbooks and materials, and you'll retain that post 9/11 GI Bill housing allowance, as opposed to the VR&E subsistence allowance.
Okay, so I see that's the biggest thing, right? So the tuition will be paid, is just that I will no longer receive the housing stipend.
Yeah, because if you have a month, say you have 5 weeks left, VA will pay your term bill, spring 22, under post 9/11, but you're only going to get those 5 weeks of housing allowance, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay, and to be eligible for VR, the continuing one, to VRE benefits, you have to have
It's a 10% disability rating. So we'll go up to the PowerPoint slide. The criteria for that would be you shouldn't have had received a dishonorable discharge, at least a 10% rating from the VA. And if you were discharged before January 1st, 2013, then you have 12 years from that date to utilize that benefit, which would be 2025, okay? But if you were discharged from active duty after January 1st, 2013, it does not apply to you. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that does help.
Awesome.
So last question, this outside of the school thing. Do you guys have a contact for the who I should get in contact for eligibility for this?
So for eligibility,
For the disability eligibility, because I never really applied for it. I didn't really even.
yeah, sure. So this is the website. If you want to take a screenshot of it,
Yeah.
you can simply type in Veteran Readiness and Employment with VA Form 28-1900 on Google. It'll take you right there, but the link is right below as well. So do you see the link in gold?
Yes.
Okay, so you can go there and apply for your vocational rehab. And this is for the benefit. This is not for the rating, correct?
Oh no, I was asking for the rating because I never applied for the rating or really thought that was.
All right, so that's a completely different conversation. You can come to our office and we'll talk to you about that because that's way outside the scope of the R&E.
Yeah.
That's a separate conversation we can have.
Okay.
Awesome. Mario, do you have any questions?
I'm on the same situation students. I have more than a day left.
Okay.
And I was thinking that if I stay with the 733, they will pay for that semester and the housing allowance.
But for just that 1 month.
Just that 1 month in the day.
Yeah, in the day, yeah.
I want to transfer to 731 so I can get the entire.
Exactly. So they'll continue giving you your basic month.
And I do have a 10% if I get paid monthly.
Perfect. So go to this website, apply. If you can, apply today.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay? Apply today. Again, if you have any questions, you know where our office is at. Diego, I'm gonna connect you with the contact sheet where you can go and see additional resources. And that concludes our presentation.